All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, Justin Fields was once again linked to the New York Jets, and this time it's coming from Andrew Filipponi. I apologize if I mispronounced the last name, but he goes on to say, hot rumor, a Justin Fields Steelers reunion is being held up because Fields is worried that the Steelers won't commit to him as the starting quarterback. After getting benched last year, he's leery the team could sign competition or draft a quarterback early. Money, not the issue. Interesting. And then we had Rich Cimini hop on his podcast, and by the way, shout out to Paul Esden for sharing this. But Cimini said, "Don't be surprised if the Jets sign Justin Fields to something like a 2-year, $20 million contract." Referenced his age, referenced his upside, and referenced his mobility, and how those things play really into effect to what the Jets want, out of their offense. And so this is not the first time that we've heard like a Justin Fields Jets, link before. Personally, I feel like Justin Fields, he holds a lot of cards. He holds a lot of leverage here. Why? Because a lot of teams need quarterbacks. Fields can come in and start immediately for the New York Jets. He would be the starter. I think that if he goes back to Pittsburgh, he would be the starter. He could go to the Giants and be the day one starter. Do the Seattle Seahawks now have interest in Justin Fields? Right, that's a whole nother story. Right, I feel pretty confident with saying that the Raiders are out on Justin Fields. That's not confirmed, but with the new acquisition of Geno Smith for a third-round pick, you gotta think that they're not even gonna make a play on it, right? If they wanted Fields, they'd just sign him and keep the third rounder and not trade for Geno. So, you can maybe argue some other teams, Tennessee, right? They have the money to pay him. I feel like Fields is better than Will Levis, but will the Titans do that? I still think a quarterback might be in play at spot number one. I think a team that really makes a lot of sense for Fields is the Colts. The Colts have a team where they have multiple talented receivers, they have some big talented offensive linemen up front, and they're going to rely on the running game. That's, to me, what Justin Fields needs. If you want your identity to be grounded pound, right, just demolish defenders, force them to tackle, just grind them down into the dirt, that's, I feel like the type of offense that Fields fits in the best, right? Have him work off of play action on bootlegs, right? When in shotgun, you can utilize, a little bit of the RPO game, but, his legs with pulling it back on read options, like that's the bread and butter with Justin Fields, right? When you have these wide open in breaking routes and he could just hit them in stride, just throwing darts. Like when Justin Fields has time to throw in the pocket, like he can deliver some really, really nice passes. And based off of just kind of my opinion on where I feel like Fields fits the best, purely off of offensive maybe philosophies, I would say Steelers, Jets, and Colts. Giants, not so much. With the Giants, I feel like they want to really throw the ball, put a lot on the quarterback, have him make checks at the line of scrimmage, be able to have the freedom to say, hey, you know what, I don't like this look. I'm going to, signal over to Malik Neighbors, hey, run this route, and I'm going to get you the football. Like that type of stuff, right? Similar to the things that we saw back in Buffalo with Josh Allen, just giving the quarterback so much freedom to do whatever he wants. With Fields, I feel like he kind of needs to be more structured in a sense. So I don't know. The whole Giants dynamic is really interesting. Gosh, I feel like they can trade up to spot number one. I'm not going to be shocked if that happens. And they just go out and select, Cam Ward here. It seems like there's a lot of Aaron Rodgers Giants rumors as of late. And look, we're 1 day away from free agency kicking off on Monday, so we'll get the answer soon. But again, here we are talking about a Justin Fields Jets rumor. And again, I do feel like Fields holds the cards. Not only is he arguably, the second best quarterback in free agency. I mean, you can make an argument. I feel like I would rather take Fields than Darnold, relatively speaking. Not in some sort of like one game to win it all. Like Fields for, let's just throw out Simini's contract projection, 2 years, 20 mil, 10 mil a year for Justin Fields, or what, 30, 35, 40 mil for Sam Darnold. I think I would take Justin Fields at that price. So he's in this position. you're looking at the draft and it's, the quote unquote weaker draft. We're hearing a bunch of rumors, Tyler Shuck shooting up boards, Jackson Dart, potentially late first round pick. Could someone trade up for Dart? Does Sanders fall? All these different types of rumors out there. And, if you just kind of take a step back and put yourself in Justin Fields' shoes, like he's probably looking at the market saying, okay, Steelers need a quarterback. I know that offense really, really well. I can go back in there and start. Jets need a quarterback. Giants need a quarterback. Seahawks now need a quarterback. I'm the second or maybe even the best free agent quarterback, and there's not many draftable options. By the way, the Browns need a quarterback. How did that one slip my mind, right? The Cleveland Browns desperately need a quarterback too. Although personally, I think it's going to be Kirk Cousins that winds up in Cleveland. But it's still an option. It's still an option where Justin Fields can, him and his agent, hey, X amount of teams need a quarterback. Like I'm going to find a home here. I'm going to be coveted. So personally, I still feel like Pittsburgh it's still the front runner. I just don't know where Pittsburgh is going to pivot if they don't bring Fields back. Rodgers for one season, Devontae Adams maybe, Lazard maybe, right? Bringing the Jets trio, the Packers trio over to Pittsburgh for a season and just kind of see how that plays out. Are they, players for Sam Darnold here? Kirk Cousins, maybe. I mean, he doesn't really have to do a whole lot in that offense. Arthur Smith, run the football. They got to figure out running back, though. But Pickens, Freiermuth, have some young pieces on the O-line. Get the good defense to rely on. I don't know. Does Kirk end up in Pittsburgh? The quarterback musical chairs, it's going to be so much fun to watch. I'll say this. If I was a Steeler fan, I would want Fields. That's who I would want. If I'm like a diehard Steeler fan right now, I'm looking at Rodgers. I'm looking at Darnold and Minshew, Jameis, all these other available quarterbacks. Justin Fields was impressive last season, right? The 10 total touchdowns, 5 through the air, 5 on the ground, to 1 INT, 4-2 as a starter. It seemed like a lot of fans and players were bothered when Mike Tomlin made the swap for Russell Wilson. And keep in mind, Justin Fields had some pretty big time wins when he was a starter over there. I would want him back if I was a Steeler fan. So yeah, this whole thing should be really, really interesting. And who knows if this rumor is true here from Filippione. But if it is, are the Steelers maybe showing their hand with potentially drafting a quarterback early? Is there someone that they've maybe fallen in love with, based off of the tape and the 15-minute interviews at the Combine? Up to my knowledge, I don't think that the Steelers have had a quarterback in for an official visit. But I don't know. It's interesting. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Are you thinking Fields? Are you thinking, hey, let's just roll with Tyrod? I was actually talking to my brother about it the other night, and he was like, we were going through all the veteran quarterback options for the Jets. And, again, Wentz, Mariota, Kirk, Fields, Darnold, and Geno, I didn't even include. And he was just like, I kind of feel like you're going to get the same results with Tyrod. Maybe if you go with a younger option, you'd have some upside there. But like macro perspective, is it really worth the money to go after one of these vets when you already have, a guy in Tyrod who can go out there, start, win games already on the roster? Which I thought was a good point. But anyway, yeah. Would you like Fields? Would you not like Fields? Let me know your thoughts. We'll find out soon what the Jets' plan is. But I don't know. With all these rumors that Shedeur Sanders could be slipping in the draft, Raiders now have Geno Smith. Is he in play at spot number? A lot of questions. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. And as always, go Jets.